Good morning. Welcome to Funky Rainbow this glorious Saturday morning. A theme that suits this glorious Saturday morning is, of course, trees. I mean, what can be more wonderful than a relaxing Saturday sitting under a tree and reading a book, of course? So here we are with a clutch of books, or as we said in our poster, a forest of books, Indian children's books, and books, one or two books for adults as well, all focusing on trees. I have, of course, before I start off, I'm going to show you the mug that I'm sipping my tea or coffee, chai or coffee from, and that is the Funky Rainbow Book Champion mug. So it's up on our site and it's ready to be ordered. And I think for those of you who are watching the bazaar and watch us regularly every Saturday morning, make sure you join us for a cuppa over books using Funky Rainbow's Book Champion mug. Like I said, a fantastic custom created illustration by Gray Stroke, and I hope you can see it clearly, which absolutely livens up the mood when you're drinking a cup of chai, coffee, or any liquid of your choice. So with the I'm a Book Champion mug, we get started with a whole bunch of recommendations on the theme of trees. The thing is, we've all, grown up with many tree lined stories. I mean, when I was growing up, there was a lot of British literature available in India. Most of the books that I read, as a child were mostly British. And so there was Peter Rabbit's Sandy Burrow Under the Fir Tree. There was Robin Hood's Hideout in Sherwood Forest, to the barren tree that magically produced a peach in Roald Dahl's James and the Giant Peach, or even the Whomping Willow, the terrifying Whomping Willow of Hogwarts from Hogwarts. Closer home too, there were a lot of trees that were part of stories that we heard or read growing up. I mean, there was oh, I'm sorry, there seems to be a small tech glitch. It says Facebook has stopped our broadcast, so I may need to restart this live stream. Just bear with us. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Do you want me to restart? Even me, right? And we're back. For all our friends who've joined us on Instagram, so sorry, I'm not sure. There was really a glitch. We can see some of you saying, no, I can actually see you. But there was an announce on our main computer saying Facebook has stopped this live stream. Well, technology, guys, damn it, sit under a tree and enjoy a book any day, really. So I was just saying that, a tree is really part of so many stories that we heard or read growing up. I mean, I was, recounting some of the trees that were really familiar to me when I mean, growing up as a child. There was Peter Rabbit's sandy burrow under the fir tree. There was Robin Hood's hideout in Sherwood Forest. There was the barren tree that magically produced a peach in James and the Giant Peach, for James, basically. And there is the terrifying Whomping Willow at Hogwarts. Closer home too, there were so many trees that were part of legend, lore, stories, that you heard or read as a child. And I think, children today do as well. I know, the Bodhi tree under which the Buddha attained enlightenment. I mean, it had such a deep impact, on me as a story, as growing up, that when we were last year, I think pretty much at the same time, we were at Varanasi, at a school in Varanasi. We actually, took a trip down to Sarnath to see, the Bodhi tree where, Buddha attained enlightenment. There was the banyan tree, the peepal tree, the neem tree, the mango tree. The Pandavas hid in a forest before they embarked on the war. Rama was banished, to the forest with Lakshmana and Sita. There was the tree from Vikram and Vetal as well, the lone tree that stood in a cremation ground to which Vetal always flew back when, King Vikram opened his mouth. So evidently, tree-lined stories really constituting a great, a great sort of, repertoire of stories that are sort of woven around trees, so to speak. So we said, look, I mean, and even in the last year with the COVID pandemic, I mean, one of the things that I heard a lot of people saying, whether they were parents, children, saying, my gosh, we miss our little walk in the park, just looking at a couple of trees. And I know many who took to gardening and, took to tending to their indoor plants, because just the presence of trees, I mean, magical trees is what I call them. They could just be, small plants, small creepers, or giant trees, making a huge difference to our lives in every way. So we said, why don't we look at the collection of books that we have and look at several of them that are, based on trees or centric on trees, and they're books of fiction, non-fiction, picture books. So we have really quite an array lined up for you today. And I said it in my Facebook post this morning that when you look at these books, I mean, literally a forest of Indian children's books and young adult books centric on trees, we know that it takes a forest to raise a child. So yes, and as Mutama's rightly pointed out, our office, which is in a suburb in Bangalore, one of the reasons we are here and love the place is because of the lovely trees that are just right outside all our windows. I wish we could do the shoot outside, but it's a gated community and you need permissions to do it. But we will probably post the bazaar, share some photographs of what it looks like right outside each of our windows. Such a life-giving force trees really are. So with that, I will let's get started on, let's say, on what I call trees company for the next hour or so. My first recommendation for the day is this glorious, lovely book from Tara called 1, 2, 3. How very apt a title for this lovely book. It's a stunning read aloud book, and it invites us readers, young children especially, to count the animals on each page. This one is written by Anushka Ravishankar, Sirish Rao, and illustrated by Durga Bai. For instance, you can see, and I really mean that this is a book meant for the youngest of readers, but also for all of us who can simply spend hours looking at the magnificent illustrations in the book. So there is this one that says one dizzy ant, and then one, yeah, sorry, again, Sham says,
Yeah, the links are not coming, so that's what the glitch is. There are no links. I can only YouTube is getting the links.
oh, okay, all right.
I can't comment.
I think we're going to need to restart because Facebook is not allowing us to post the links to the book and make our comments. So we'll be back just in 2 minutes. We will restart and come back in 2 minutes. I'm really sorry for all the interruptions, but if there's a tree outside your window, just spend a couple of minutes looking at it. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Do you want me to restart as well?